Hi Gemini, this is your June 2016 horoscopes with me, Lada from astrolada.com, and this is your month, whether it's your sun, ascendant or moon in Gemini. The sun is moving through Gemini during this month for the biggest part. Even you'll feel it from the last 10 days of May and the first 20 days of June. So it's a good time for new beginnings. Whenever the sun revitalizes the sign of your ascendant or the sign of your sun itself, this is either when you have birthday, if you're Gemini sun, or when the sun is transiting your ascendant, your first house basically of new beginnings. So you have the green light during this month to actually start on new ventures, to start manifesting on the material level, to basically you'll get new ideas about what the next 12 months you might be doing, new inspirations. When the sun enters your first house, we definitely get a boost, an energetic boost, inspirational boost, because the sun is the consciousness of God. The sun is inspiration. The sun brings us light and brings us clarity, and the sun brings us, it awakes everything and pushes us into action. So definitely there will be some big changes, and actually a lot of people, especially Geminis, born in the first 2 weeks of June, or in the last 5 days of May, this is when a grand square is happening almost throughout most of those birthdays. It's a grand square that's in your sign, in Gemini, that is in your 7th house of relationships, that's in your 10th house of career, and it's in your 4th house of family. So all the most important areas of your life are being triggered, especially the first 2 weeks. And it's almost like the wheel of fortune is spinning for you. You can, by the end of June, your life might be, I wouldn't want to scare you, turned upside down, but it can be in a positive way. If you haven't had the force to move till now, or if you feel stuck, if you felt stuck in some way, all those planets in the grand cross, they form like a square. They will like spin that wheel, and even though the ride might feel bumpy, imagine riding on a square wheel, it will definitely create a change in the direction of your life. And again, I repeat, it can happen in your personal plans and goals for yourself, even in your appearance, because Sun and Venus are in your sign. It can be triggered through, and there can be some tensions between you and partners, because the Sun and Venus and Mercury will be opposing Saturn in your 7th house of relationships. So it's kind of, there can be tensions between what you need, what you want for yourself, and what others expect from you, what partners, business or personal or marriage partners or relationship people you're in relationship in some way, or in contractual relationships or personal relationship of some way, what they expect from you. And there can be also some tension that comes between your career, which is the 10th house, there is a planet there, Neptune, and your personal life, personal home life, family, place of living. There can be certain tension that you have to find a way to balance, and they can be like almost you're being stretched in very different directions all the time. One person, other people pulling in this direction, you pulling in this direction. Family and needs at home, and personal needs and personal emotional or family members, pulling in another direction. Career and authority figures, career goals pulling in another direction. So it can be a bit more stressful, but definitely it's active time. And by the end of the process, you could have transformed any one of those 4 areas. That's why it's very hard actually to predict exactly which area of your life it's going to transform, because so many angles, the most important, the 4 angles in a horoscope are being triggered. So it's a call from the universe, from a change, and if you're resisting this change, it will come from outside. But possibly many of you are already starting to feel in May already this inner pull that something's going to turn, something's going to change, and it can bring changes in your career, changes in your relationships, changes, and they come through some tension which we resolve creatively, and we manage to balance out and improve that area eventually. So changes in your career, changes with family members, changes in your personal life as well. But the Venus is also in your sign, in Gemini. So Venus can help smooth out some of this more tense energy that the planets on cross are doing, to help you be more balanced, more calmer, And when Venus transits the sign, whether of the ascendant or of the sun, we tend to become more attractive. We tend to attract experiences of love. And Venus transits your sign once every year, different times obviously. But this is a month where you can attract some more positive things as well, which are Venus ruled. Venus is the small benefic. She rules love. She rules appreciation. She rules improvement of the physical appearance. She rules self-pampering. She rules pleasures of the senses, like good food, good wine, massages, beauty therapies of sorts, buying beautiful clothes. So all those, even though there's like tension, psychological, especially the first 2 weeks, that is making you change something in a big way, Venus will also make sure that the universe is bringing some good and pleasant things into your life as well. And it's not necessarily that you're going to meet now the love of your life when Venus transits your sign. It happens every year. But definitely it can bring loving experiences as well. But your specific horoscope has to be seen to predict relationship in particular. So yeah, that's about the grand square. You know, many astrologers call it cosmic storm. I don't want to... Yeah, it's inner storm. Yeah, things are changing, but believe me, it's always for the best. Even if at the moment you can't see it, and you might be freaking out, and you might be feeling worried or apprehensive, it's just the grand square in Vedic astrology, ancient astrology. It's a position of manifesting on the material level. And so you can manifest on the material level new beginnings in your life, changes in your family, changes in your relationships, and changes in your career as well. Okay, so what else is happening? Mars is moving into a 6th house, Gemini, and it's going to be retrograde there. And the 6th house is going to, the whole of June, Mars will be in your 6th house, retrograde. And retrograde Mars is about reviewing certain things from the past. And in regards to 6th house, is reviewing how you're doing your health routines, for example. Reviewing how well you take care of your body. Reviewing how... At the same time now in June, Mars is going retrograde into your 6th house, Gemini. And this happens very rarely. Probably once every 17 years that Mars will go retrograde in a house. And Mars is like a surgeon that wants to cut out the unhealthy parts of that house that is going retrograde in. And it can do it in some very sharp methods as well, which can feel a bit stressful for us. And definitely wants you to re-examine your health routines, for example, which is one thing the 6th house rules. Are you overworking, or are you eating badly, or are you not taking any fresh air, or maybe you're working slumped on a desk all day long and your back starts hurting or something? Because the 6th house is the house of health, and how we maintain our health, our daily routines that maintain our body, our daily, whatever you're doing daily, what time you wake up, how do you eat, do you work out, how do you maintain this physical body you've been given? And a retrograde planet, there in your 6th house, makes us re-examine that. And particularly in Mars, it will give you extra willpower to change those things, because Mars is super strong in Scorpio. And when it's retrograde, it will bring you some kind of signals about what you're not doing correctly in regards to maintaining your health, in regards to, you know, in regards to your daily routines, daily workout, food that you eat. And if you have not been taking good care of that area of your life, certain acute symptoms can appear in health. This is in extreme cases, you know. There might be the need for operation or some pains that appear, which is a signal for you. And whatever Mars is, and when it's retrograde, we can change things with our willpower. It doesn't mean that you'll be forever like that. You know, if any health issue comes, if any issue appears, it's just a signal for you to restructure your daily routines in some way and to surgically remove the ones that are not healthy for you. And many times when I've seen clients who have Mars retrograde in their 6th house, this can be a period when they really change lifestyle, when they really change health routines, and they really change how they approach their everyday routines and health. And the 6th house is also work. Our work environment, your work environment might be changing in some way as well. And it might be creating some tension or extra pressure on you, like extra deadlines that are given to you for a certain project. it might require you to reconsider how efficient you are in doing your duties and responsibilities, whether at home or at work, because 6th house is the house of efficiency. So Mars there, retrograde, can make you see things from a different way. And by the end of this process, by the end of June, the beginning of July, when Mars starts moving direct, you might be able to, for example, get way more organized. You might be able to, to have gotten rid of a lot of issues that you haven't worked on before, and to fix certain matters in your life, whether it's fixing on a tangible level, something around the house, or completing some project that needs to be edited and put extra efforts in. And by the time Mars starts moving direct, you'll see the results of those extra efforts you've been putting, or if you've been on some health routine. When Mars in July starts moving direct in your 6th house, you'd feel again empowered, because you'll start seeing the results of those changes, of those health and routine changes. And often people, after Mars retrograde in the 6th house, they say like, oh, I've become way more organized, or I'm able to do this job that I usually do before for 5 hours, now I can do it in half the time. But the thing is, in order for us to make those changes, something usually escalates in regards to such matters, whether it's health, whether it's our duties and responsibilities, daily routines, whether it's at the workplace, something that escalates, which pushes you to reorganize, which pushes you to remove time-wasting routines, time-wasting methods of doing things, and to basically to become more focused and to become more efficient and productive in a sense. And often the workload can increase as well when Mars is retrograde in the 6th house, or the duties and the errands that we have to run can increase, and it might be asked to approach them from a different angle, to change something how we solve those issues. And 6th house is also debt. So we might, you Gemini in particular, might, some issue with the debt can escalate. So you can change it, you can restructure it. And by the time when Mars starts moving direct, you'd probably have a lesser debt, or you'd have kind of created a better debt package in some sense, or you might have started some initiatives and some actions which can decrease your debt, which can solve some of your debt issues. Also, you might be, by that time, when Mars starts moving direct in July, the end of June, you'd see, you might have a new health routine, new way of approaching your daily lives and responsibilities. So, even though it's retrograde, everyone says, ooh, it's bad, but it's there to do its surgical operation. And in extreme cases, actually, it can create a surgical operation, because 6th house is health. But hopefully that's not the case for you. But it's a call that we can change something with our own willpower, with our own actions, and we see the positive results of this restructure in July, in August onwards. So thank you very much, Gemini. This was your June 2016 horoscope. Time for new beginnings, big changes in life. And yeah, thank you, and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Facebook, where I do free readings for people who win the competition, or my psychics and astrologers also offer their free services. And when I do daily written horoscopes and updates, and anything to do with astrology. Thank you.